Recruitment events are getting common and even more common every day. And nearly every time that I check on the NHS track or on the NHS events portal, I always see a recruitment event going on with a different trust altogether. And obviously, I had to do my research and I found out that after the COVID pandemic, it looks like the NHS has taken like a drive to massively recruit through recruitment events. I know for a fact the trust that I work for has held 2 recruitment events this year, and it was the same last year. And so it does look like it's a trend going on. Why did I decide to talk about this today? It's because I want to share with you the tips that I do feel can be beneficial if one is to prepare for a recruitment event, because that's the way I got into the NHS. And I do feel if you have been wanting to get into the NHS, this could be one of the pathways in which you can use to actually integrate into the NHS. Guys, a big welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Florence. If you're watching me for the first time, on this platform, we do talk about life in the diaspora, life in the UK to be particular. I came to the UK 2 years ago on a care visa and I'm enjoying it. That's why I've taken a drive to say, I want to share with my people. I want to inspire people to say, you too can embark on this diaspora journey and enjoy it. Guys, let's get straight into it. So, first and foremost, one of the very things that I do always encourage people, if you're going for a recruitment event, some of these events you could end up like in an interview that very same day and you could end up securing a job. So looking good and dressing well is one of the things that I over emphasize. I cannot overemphasize the fact that you need to be dressed for success. I mean, we're not saying go overboard with suits and things, but always be presentable, look good, look clean, well ironed clothes. I mean, because you just never know who you may meet. You could be speaking to your future employer or your future manager, so you need to look the part. So the second thing that I want to encourage people is you need to be clear and intentional with what you want. Have a clear objective in your mind to say, okay, this is what I want. What do I mean by that? I mean, I went to that recruitment event and I was like, well, it's just a bank recruitment event. But when I left that event, this was last year, when I left that event, I only found out when we were doing training that some of the girls that we were with on that particular event had actually got sponsorship. It's called being intentional. They made it so clear, maybe when they were being interviewed one on one, they made it so clear to say, we want sponsorship. I wasn't clear. I just wanted whatever that they were offering me. So at the end of the day, I didn't get sponsorship there and then. But I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity to get into the NHS through bank and then later on integrate on a permanent basis with sponsorship. So one of the things that I do encourage you is do not shy away from stating your intentions or asking about your future goals to say, do you offer sponsorship? I'm on a skilled worker visa and these are my goals, these are my intentions. Where do you stand as far as this is concerned? So you could find your answers, or they could actually rethink what they're offering when they hear you asking. So be very intentional. The third thing that I want to talk about is make sure you've done your research. Fine, I was fortunate enough, the recruitment event that I went to was a generalized one. They wanted like healthcare assistance for different wards, for different places. But there are other recruitment events that could be ward or unit oriented. For example, it could be like they're recruiting for a mental health unit. So it's particularly for a mental health unit. So if it's not your cup of tea, you've got no business going there. It's just a total waste of time. So you have to have done your research. I mean, I know I do share links, I do share opportunities when I do come across them, but the onus is on you, if you're watching this video, to go on then and research and see if that aligns with your career goals, if that aligns with your development and progression goals. So the onus is on you. You don't want to waste time when you find out you've gone for a recruitment event that does not align with your career goals. There's always room and space for everybody. There's always room and space for your dreams, specifically if you're watching this video. Guys, if you're watching this video, stay tuned, because the last one you want to know, because it's quite beneficial. So the fourth thing that I want to talk about is always find out the structure of the event. Guys, I don't want to lie to you. When I went to this recruitment event that I went to, that actually ended up like with me being recruited by the NHS, I'd never been to such an event where you go into a group session where you are all being asked at one go and you're raising hands and answering questions. I felt the pressure because uh, it felt so uncomfortable. So sometimes you need to do your research to find out like the structure of the event that you're going to, so that you find your feet, you find your comfort, you find your confidence around it, because this could make you or break you when you go into a room and then they tell you this is how we're going to do it and then you're uncomfortable with it. So it's one of the reasons that I want you to do your research about the structure of this recruitment event that you could be going to. Guys, the last one, networking. Find out as much about the organization that you want to work for as you can. I mean, in this on these recruitment events, it's a chance for you also to ask about the policies, to ask about career progression, to ask about all the future goals. Why do I encourage people to do that? Is because I'm big on career progression, I'm big on growth. I mean, you don't want to leave your current job where probably you were maybe set on a path for success and then you're joining an organization that does not align with your goals. So this one I'm big on it. Also find out if they have a set of values that the staff represent. I mean, there will be staff who work for the trust in that place on a recruitment event. So ask as much as you can. That's an opportunity for you to find out elements of the culture in the organization and find out as well about the social activities. It is through these types of conversations where you discover whether the organization is the one which you could thrive in. I mean, a lot of people want to join the NHS, but then there are some people who opened my eyes and said, Flo, you're always saying join the NHS, but you realize it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. So you know yourself, you know your goals, you know what you want, you know what you want to pursue, you know what you want to achieve by joining the NHS. So guys, this is one of the things that I do encourage you to say. Network and ask as much as you can. Ask as much as you can in that interview. Do not shy away from asking. I mean, the last but not least tip that I want to give you is the fact that when I went to my interview, I'll give you an example. When I went to my interview, first, it was a group session. We were answering questions. You raise your hand, you answer a question. There was a panel. And then afterwards, we went on to a one-on-one session where there was two panelists and you, the individual, being interviewed. So one of the things that I do encourage you is do your research, practice for it the same way you would practice for any other interview. It's not as easy as you think. Take it seriously if you want to get into the NHS. Guys, that's all I had for you today. That's all I had today for you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.